All right, bro, it's finally time to do prediction video for Group C, CONY, HOOY, NFLY, Carvana, and there are other stocks in this group. So I'll leave this table here for you to view while I'm talking, doing the intro. But anyway, I was waiting to do this video today, not yesterday, because the markets were closed. But on Saturday, US bombed Iran's nuclear facilities and the futures were all down. But today, the markets opened up with the bank. I was actually up like 2.5% in the morning, but now I'm up only 1% because here's the thing. Iran starts attacking US military bases in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, and in Iraq. And you can see here's a video of the rockets flying in and US anti-missile system shutting them down. I don't know the reports, but basically the market is pretty volatile. So with that said, this is exactly why I wanted to wait to see what happens in the morning. I didn't want to make this video yesterday. So bro, just a reminder, this video is not a financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any of these funds. I just created this tool, YieldMax so I can see if the funds I am invested in are making money, and then I saw interest from other people. So it is available publicly. By the way, you can try it out for 1 week, 7 days free trial, and we offer a 25% lifetime discount. That's in a link in the description. Just click the link, it applies discount right away. With that said, bro, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section which one of these funds is your favorite, which one you expect the most out of, and what your predictions are for these funds. With that, let's begin. So since CONY is the biggest fund in this group, we'll concentrate most of the time on it. Coinbase was up 312 in the morning, then it dropped to 295, and now it's recovering a little bit. This market is unsinkable. Like even with the mini nuclear war on over the weekend, the market is still rallying in the morning. But anyway, let's go into the predictions. So we will quickly discuss what happened last week, and we already have the algo prediction available. I already opened it. Usually I try to keep it closed, but anyway. So last week the CONY skyrocketed when they announced a deal for Circle, with Circle, or rather for USDC payments. So it is related to Circle. So number one, back to Circle, their stock is up tenfold since IPO 3 weeks ago. That is absolutely insane. By the way, bro, I wanted to be in that IPO, but like Trump, I chickened out. Last moment, I canceled my order. Whatever. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But last week, when Coinbase announced their partnership with Shopify on the payments using USDC and just generally rolling out USDC payments network, the stock has skyrocketed by about $40 in 1 day. That was like 16% at the time, and it keeps going up, although kind of range bound since then. And what happened is they rolled a lot of their positions. They rolled their synthetic. First, they rolled it to 250, and then they took a profit and rolled it up to 300. So I am personally, as a holder of CONY, I don't like this move. And the reason is because what happens when this stock, if or when the stock goes down to 270, 260, we will have to take a loss on the difference between the share price and the strikes that were locked in. But maybe it doesn't happen. Therefore, anyway, they took a credit, and the credit for the whole cycle was $173.5 million, $1.17 per share. Unrealized synthetic gain is $38 million right now. CONY is sitting at around 886. This changes, but this is about right. So last update on Coinbase price was 299. Right now it's 303. Not a big difference, and the IV is 52.5%. And our estimate comes in at 49.5 to 47.5 or 74.5 cents. This hasn't updated because the price movements. No, actually it's 50 cents. So 50 cents to 74 cents estimate. And currently their holdings are as follows. They're sitting on a $300 call, short call expiring next week on June 27th. Actually this week, I'm sorry, in 4 days. 305, 310. The 300 is probably in danger. Then we have a 325 lottery call. If we win that, it means we lose a lot of money on the short calls. But then we have another lottery call for 340, and we have about 13,500 contracts. So that's about a third of their holdings at 327.5 and 333.5. Okay, so that's good. Most likely we will win this 13,000 contracts. I fear we will lose this one. Hopefully we don't. And that would mean that if we don't win it, that means that Coinbase is about $300 or below. But I think we'll lose on this one. This we have a chance of winning, and also this one we have a chance of winning, but we don't know the future right now, even as Iran is attacking US military bases and in different countries in the Middle East, the market is very resilient. So yeah, this is what it is. We're not going to go over trades. If you want to kind of digest all this data, you can try YieldMax Tracker 7-day free trial, and also in the description for this video, there's a 25% lifetime discount code. Just click the link and it will apply automatically. And also I'll post a discount code at the end of this video. So yeah, Coinbase, we're looking at about 60-cent dividend this week. I think we're going to be closer to 49, 50 cent, maybe 55, knowing how they've been paying, how they've been sandbagging lately. If we look at their over here, so they made about $1.53 last month, and they paid about 50% of that. The good thing is, well, I don't know if it's good or bad, but the shares outstanding are not growing as fast as some other funds, and I will talk about msty and OLT. Those two funds have been exploding lately. But anyway, we're in Group C, so let's move on. Our next stock is HOOY. Okay, let's let it load. There we go. We lost $13 per share. This is realized loss, $2.3 million. That's not good. However, Robinhood is sitting at around $76, and we're sitting on a $49 synthetic. So we're up a lot. We're up about $27 on that. And per share of HOOY, we're sitting at a $25 synthetic unrealized gain. So that is good, but we did lose $13 million during the cycle. I mean, $13.33 during the cycle, and $2.3 million total for the whole fund. The shares outstanding are growing slowly, and we can look at it here. See, it's been stable for the last week or so. Actually, yeah, for the last 10 days, it's been stable, not growing. Anyway, the rolling P&L. So now we have algo estimator that includes rolling P&L for the fund, and so the estimates are now more conservative if the fund has been losing money. That is the case with HOOY. They've lost almost $15 per share, but they're sitting on unrealized gain. Eventually they'll realize it. I think Robinhood will probably stay flat or keep going up, but they seem to be in a good spot for this week as far as the short trades, and will probably lose on the long trades. I don't think that Robinhood will exceed $80 by the end of the week, but I'm not a predictor. That's just my opinion. Let's take a look at the estimate, and the estimate comes in around $3.23 to $4.06. Okay, let's take a look what they paid last time. Again, they lost money last time. They paid $3.30. We can actually see it over here also. And so yeah, I think this algo estimate is pretty on point. I think they'll pay about $3.20, $3.30. Probably not in the $4 range, because after all, they lost 13 bucks for the cycle. But eventually they will realize this gain, 25 bucks a share. And bro, like, that's a lot. That's like over 30% of the share price. So once they realize that, the P&L will turn green, but that means that our synthetic will be much higher. And if Robinhood tanks, then we might deal with the losses. The same story as with Coinbase. So anyway, I think we'll win this $81, $82, and $83 synthetics, or not synthetic, short sales. And the 81 and 82, they're kind of small position relative to the whole holdings. So most of it is in the 83 range. So I think we'll win on those and probably lose the lottery calls. Okay, let's move on. I'm not going to spend time on their trades. Again, if you want, you can try this tracker and analyze the trades on the holdings. Let's move on to NFLY. So I used to own NFLY. It was a really good fund for me. I made money, but then a few months ago, Netflix reported very good earnings, and I sold all my NFLY at a profit. And on top of that, I made money with the dividends. So anyway, I think it's a good fund. I'm just like not in it right now. They lost 11 cents for the cycle. That's not too bad. Rolling P&L for the year, they made 254. That's good. So that means that even though they have a negative P&L for the cycle, most likely their dividend will be decent this month. Let's take a look. So the algo is predicting 62 through 90 cents. I would, again, they've been sandbagging, especially on the funds that are losing money year to date. So I think they'll pay around 63 cents this time around. They paid 68 cents last time. I don't think they'll pay close to 90 cents. We still include this because when they get, when they recover the losses, they'll get more aggressive with their dividends. But there is not that much loss for NFLY year to date. So that's good. Anyway, that's where the P&L sits. Their IV is 44%, and algo estimates 44 through 62.5%. Algo-based, IV-based estimate is also 63 cents, so I think that's what we're going to receive this cycle. Holdings, Netflix right now, 12.42. That's amazing, bro. I was shorting Netflix when it was like $190. Good thing I got out of it. But that was back in 22, 23. Yeah. Anyway, so we're sitting on $1.42 unrealized gain. That's pretty good. That's about 7% of the fund's price currently. So that's good. They have some lottery calls, probably not going to pan out. And this position is sort of in danger, but probably will win as well. The other ones are a little bit higher, especially this one, 1265. I think they'll win that. Anyway, let's see let's look the share count. It's growing. That's good. The fund is growing. People are buying in, so that's good. Good luck to everyone who is holding NFLY. Let's move on to Carvana. Another one of my shorts, and I lost my shirt on it. Bro, whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, so they are down $1.54 per share for the cycle. 2.4 million loss. That's combined, and per share, that's $1.54. They're sitting on a very nice synthetic unrealized gain. So when I say unrealized, when they have to close this position, they'll realize that gain. They have almost 2 months to go, and they're at 270. I think they'll be fine on that one. So yeah, they paid 456, 457 last month. That's great. But now, Algo is predicting $1.89 through 248. I mean, through 284. They might actually pay more, bro. I don't know. Let's take a look at their. Why do I have so little? Let's take a look what they've been paying. So I guess I wasn't tracking this fund very well. We have not a lot of data on it, but as time goes on, this data will be collected and will roll in. Okay, yeah, it's a newer fund. They paid 268 here, 296 here. In March, they paid 391, and highest payment last cycle 456. Pretty good, but yeah, I think they'll pay around $3 this time around, and maybe our algo estimator is a little bit conservative, but the biggest point here is the $1.54 loss for the cycle. Where do they stand on the synthetics? So this position is in danger. We're 4 days away, and it's almost at the money, only 0.25% up. The other ones are more solid, but we'll see what happens. It's a small fund, 1.58 million shares. Okay, the IV on this thing has been decreasing. It used to be a lot higher, but whatever. It's crazy fun. It's a crazy stock. I'm not gonna voice my opinion on Carvana personally, but yeah, I was shorting it back in the day and lost my shirt on that. Anyway, let's move on. PYPY. I just can't not laugh, bro. Sorry. It's really funny. So they made 10 cents for the cycle. That's good. Not as good as could have been, but whatever. It is what it is. Rolling P&L. Actually, yeah. Anyway, rolling P&L, they lost a lot of money this year, bro, and that reflects in the stock price. I had PYPY. I have like 13 shares left. I sold most of it when it was like in the $18 range, and that's basically all in the green, even though the price is $12.70. I collected a lot of dividends on that relative to the number of shares I had. Anyway, so synthetic P&L is sitting on at 51 cents. That's not bad. It's not bad. And the dividend estimate, 32 to 41 cents. Yeah, I guess this is sort of in line with IV based estimate, and they didn't make that much money. They have a pretty hefty loss for the year, so I don't think they'll pay much more than that. This is rather correct. I tend to agree. So let's move on. Yeah, nothing to write home about here. They'll probably win this call, or maybe not. Actually, like 4 days to go. Market is green. See, Coinbase continues to pump, even with the rockets flying. This market, bro, nothing can tank it. Anyway, PYPY. Actually, this call might be in danger, and it is the whole position. They might actually lose at the end of this week. Anyway, I tend to agree with this estimate. Let's move on. AMD, bro, AMD. So I bought it at $18, and it's at 8. I've been down on it for a long time. I haven't sold. I'm not planning to sell, but AMD, the underlying, has been pumping like crazy. At some point last week, it was over $130. I think it's not an advanced money destroyer anymore. I think it's going to 150. So hopefully my MD position recovers a little bit and we get nice dividend. But we lost 22 cents a share. That's a 3% of the share price, give or take. And we're sitting on a very nice gain on the synthetic. This is unrealized $1.16. It's very nice. I like the holdings, 132, 134 short sales and 110 synthetic. That is very nice. 140 lottery call. Like if we hit the lottery call, that means we'll lose our shirt on the short sales. So whatever, we're capped. But hopefully AMD stays under 132. We lock in the gains, move on for the next week, sell it up to say 135, 137, and coast and collect some money. But we did lose money this cycle. Let's take a look at the estimate. Bro, algo is getting very conservative these days. Look at this. It's predicting less than they paid last week or last cycle. Let's take a look at the dividends. Oh yeah, they paid a lot relative to their previous payments. Look, it keeps going up. Interesting. Let's take a look at rolling P&L. They're down for the year, and over here they were down. They were down 22 cents. No, that's current cycle. They were up 85 cents last cycle, and they paid 42. So they paid about 50% of their gains last month, but this month we're sitting on a loss. So yeah, probably will pay about 30 cents. I doubt they will pay less. Here they pay 25, but that was bad stretch for AMD. Yeah, I think they'll pay like 30, 35, give or take. So here the algo is a little bit conservative, but you know, based on the loss for the cycle, it has to be conservative because we now include the rolling P&L, and the rolling P&L is down $2.50. That's not very good. Okay, good luck to MD holders, MSFO. So Microsoft has been making all-time highs and staying there. It's not dropping. Yeah, see, this is near all-time high, 282 right now. This is today's price. Lost 14 cents a share, not very good, but sitting on a synthetic gain, unrealized synthetic gain of $1.64. The synthetic expires in 1 month, even a little bit less, 435, bro. This is nice. They'll cash out when they roll the synthetic, but they'll likely roll it up. If they don't roll it up, they basically don't make any money. And hopefully when they roll it, Microsoft doesn't drop because then they'll be sitting in a toilet again. Anyway, the short sales are kind of in the danger zone, both of them. This one is already in the red. This one is slightly in the green, less than 0.5%. But again, bro, even with the rockets hitting US bases or flying at US bases in Iran, you know, or not Iran, in whatever, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, basically in the Middle East, and Iran threatening to close off the Persian Gulf, the market is not dropping, keeps going up. It is completely insane. So anyway, I think this market just doesn't want to go down. It wants to be bullish, and probably MSFO will lose on this short sales, but they have a bunch of long calls, which I think will expire worthless. Only 4 days left, so they'll probably lose money on these ones and may lose money on the short sales. Anyway, the estimate again very conservative because of the monthly loss, 14 cents, so 25 to 38 cents. Let's take a look at the history. Dividend history. They paid 55 cents here, and they probably made money in that cycle. Yeah, they made $2, and they essentially paid like 26% of their gains. They're finally in the green after that month. Okay, so rolling P&L is in the green, but very little. So basically break even. That's not super good, but it's also not very bad. 52 cents here. So they might actually pay a little more. They might pay about like 40 cents, but probably 35, 38. So that's my guess, and I tend to agree with the algo estimate again because we have a loss in the cycle. The algo estimate is being conservative. Finally, last two, ABNY. So FIAT, which will be the last one, is a short of CONY, and we'll analyze how they trade. But with the Coinbase pumping, FIAT is going down. It's a reverse of Coinbase. Let's take a look. Again, ABNY lost 22 cents per share, and they're sitting on $1.05 synthetic unrealized gain. That's a pretty good percentage of the current price. Okay, so synthetic is 120, expiring next month, July 18th. In the money by 6.5%. That not bad. And yeah, hopefully they make money. I think they'll win the short sales. Yeah, they're way in the money. They're way out of the money. 6.5%, 7.5%. So I think they'll win the short sales, but that will go to the next cycle. Let's take a look at rolling P&L. They lost $1.56 per share year to date. This cycle they're losing 22 cents. Last cycle was nothing to write home about, and they paid 38 cents while making 28 cents. Okay. Let's see what the estimator says, 29 to 39 cents. Probably I would agree on the lower range of this. Okay, and if we confirm with the previous dividends, yeah, No, maybe they'll pay about closer to the mid-range of this, about 35 cents. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I tend to agree with the algo here. The IV just 33%. IV-based estimate 29 cents. So yeah, probably 35 cents. Okay, and last but not least is fiat. So the final ETF in this group is fiat, and once again, it is a short of Coinbase. So they buy and sell puts. They actually also buy long calls, which is funny. But anyway, so when Coinbase goes up, this fund usually goes down. And as you can see, they've lost 82 cents this month, and that is about 20% of the current fund's price. So that's kind of bad. And so they cannot pay a lot of money. The rolling P&L for the year is $1.25. That's a pretty hefty loss, about 30% of the current fund's price. Okay, and what have they been paying as of late? You can see the dividends are going down as Coinbase is going up. Last dividend was the lowest, 26 cents. And I don't know if they will be able to pay a lot. Yeah, algo says we'll get even less. So about still, like, even if it's 20 cents, bro, that's like 55 to 67% yield. Okay, that's pretty incredible considering they're losing money. But that basically comes out of the NAV, of the net asset value of the fund. So, I mean, technically they lost money. They shouldn't be paying much, but they always do. So probably will pay about 20 cents. Okay, the IV-based estimate is 17 cents. This is what it is. They don't have any synthetic. And I want to circle back to Coinbase, but let's finish off with fiat. What do they have? As far as holdings, they sold the call. That is weird. Bro, they sold a short call expiring in a less than a month, and they're down 57%, 53, almost 54% on that. 195 strike. That's completely insane. I don't know when they did that. 250 strike, they sold 20% down, $50 down on that one. They bought a long $400 call, which expires again in a month. I'll probably not make anything on it. And okay, here are some puts. They buy puts. Those will also probably not work out, but we have about a month. So maybe Coinbase drops to 250 in the next 4 weeks. Probably not, but we don't know. On 195, most likely they'll just lose money on that. Here's another put they bought, 255. Probably will lose money on that, and they sold a 277 put. And if Coinbase starts going down, they may lose money on that as well. Okay, yeah, not a financial advice, but I wouldn't be investing in this fund. I don't like this strategy at all. I think it's pretty terrible. But let's circle back to CONY and Coinbase. And so, like, because I hold this fund, I kind of have an opinion on it and on their trading strategy. And so my basic beef with overall strategy of YieldMax, but I cannot blame them because I sort of am guilty of the same thing. And let me explain. I have a leap on Coinbase expiring in 27. So it's a long-term call option at $110 strike. And so I sold a call against it, poor man's covered call, for the same expiration, August 15th, and I sold the 290 call. Collected decent amount on that, but right now it's basically 200% in the money. So I'm down on that significantly. Whatever, if I get assigned, I still make a decent chunk, not as much as I could, but who would have expected Coinbase to pump, in one day by $40 over here? Nobody could expect it. But whatever, it is what it is. But still, because they do this professionally, they do this on a weekly basis. The way I see it, just go one strike higher, be a little bit safer. It's much more profitable to be one strike higher and not losing money than collect, instant gratification right now. You make a little bit more right now, but then you end up sitting at a loss because the share price exceeds your strike. So that's my general beef with this strategy. But it is what it is. When I bought into this fund, I knew this is happening, so I still have my position. It's in the green overall, even with the with the NAV destruction over the last year. I'm still in the green, so that's good, and I'm gonna keep holding that. If my goal is basically to get all my money back, pay my taxes on it, and then keep collecting dividends on that, even if the price drops to say $6. But it is what it is. They're up over 10% in the last week, so that's good. Good luck to all the CONY holders, to all of you guys, whatever fund you hold. So once again, here is the table of all the estimates and the estimated yield. So again, these estimates, they're based on algo prediction. They're not guaranteed. It's just what our system thinks based on many parameters. These parameters include P&L per share, synthetic gain, IV, current share price of the stock, and also now it includes rolling P&L or P&L for the year. And actually, because they rolled their 250 position, they basically made this P&L a lot more pretty. It was almost $2 down last time I checked. So that's the things are looking good for it. Hopefully Coinbase stays in $300 range and we actually cash out on the synthetic and don't lose any money on it. But many times Coinbase would skyrocket, they would roll their synthetics, and then Coinbase drops $100 lower, and we take the hit on the difference between synthetic and the share price of the stock at the time of expiration. However, they did collect money upfront when they rolled the synthetic, so they collected it now, and later we may or may not have losses. That's it, bro. Thank you for watching. Again, if you want to try this product, 7-day free trial and a 25% lifetime discount until July 7th, end of July 4th weekend. So just click the link in the description below. It will apply the discount code. And if you don't like it, cancel it. No hard feelings. Good luck to all. And I'll see you in the next video, which will be the weekly ETFs. And we will know the exact dividends in less than 2 days. Peace.